Alright guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing the Halloween special for this year, where I read 3 awful creepypastas. So yeah, enough of me talking and stretching this out for no reason. Let's get to this. The most horrifying thing was I found an episode on Google Plus. So alright, so we're not even, you know how in most creepypastas they would introduce themselves and explain what's the situation they got into and how they got into it? No, this guy, he immediately goes and says what happens to him. Jesus Christ. Okay, so it says the most horrifying thing was I found in episode on Google Plus, and it was terrifying. The episode was called SpongeBob Lost Vietnamese episode. Lost Vietnamese, I mean. I did, okay, there's what do you call that? It's not period, but I'll show an image on screen, but there's not, that doesn't show up when you put that. I don't speak Vietnamese. Before the episode started with the intro, except it's G major 2 and loud, very loud. When the intro ended, it had shoot it sis on SpongeBob's head. What the fuck? There's a hair on my microphone. Okay. It had very loud noises. Where was I? Lyrics. It's go D, but go D. What the fuck is the story? Who lives on an ice cream under the sea? SpongeBob. Who does like ice cream? As SpongeBob. Who hates SpongeBob as a creepypasta? What the fuck is this story? SpongeBob, ice cream, yeah. Anyways, that is it. It started with SpongeBob was chucking on a bowstring until a screamer appeared. It cut into an image of Dora with hyper-realistic bloodshot eyes. Okay, who the hell's Dora? Dora the Explorer? You're not telling me who Dora is. It cuts to shitties. Then Mr. Krabs yelled at SpongeBob. Where did Mr. Krabs come from? Mr. Krabs yelled at SpongeBob. Yard fired. Then he got a gun and shot Mr. Krabs to little pieces. Okay, I don't know how you can make someone turn into little pieces from a gun, but okay. Then the episode ended with a cat. It was made in chocolatey. The fuck is this? I was crying so hard. I missed my cat aside, but she died when she was. What the fuck? I missed my cat aside, but she died when she was 1,000 years old or whatever. If you watch this episode, don't watch it. Like I said with every creepypasta, you telling me what happened in the episode is basically me watching it, so okay. Now it's the end of the story. I usually leave this until the end, but I want to say it now. But like, I know I say that, you know, I always pick the best story. Most of the time it's the worst story and it's badly made. This one's really badly made, but it wasn't even funny. Like, the story's just complete shit. It's just terrible. I know I leave my thoughts of the creepypastas, like, you know, ranking them at the end of the video, but I just want to say that this creepypasta is actually shit. Like, it's not even like so bad it's funny. It's just so bad that it's bad. But yeah, that's the end of this creepypasta. I don't know what it's called. SpongeBob worst day ever. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. I love Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Being a favorite, Melee is the oldest one I have. Sadly, I haven't gotten to play the classic. Wait, you mean Smash 64? Just say Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64. Like, don't. It says I haven't gotten to play the classic. That doesn't really make sense. Alright. But anyways, it says, but having 2 is good enough for me. However, there was one copy of Brawl that I found, and it was finally time that I spoke about it. I was walking home from school one day with my best friend Paige. She usually comes after school to my house, so we play Brawl. We were trying to unlock all the characters. Really all we did was battle and take some screenshots on the game to have a good laugh. Isn't that a copy of Brawl? Said Felice or whatever that says. She asked me, pointing to a disc on the side of the road. Okay, first off, I know a lot of creepypastas have things that, you know, you wouldn't expect to happen in real life. Like, even though there's you know, some of the good creepypastas have stuff that's not realistic, but at least they have a little bit of realism, even if they have stuff that's not realistic. Like, why do you think there's some, like, for example, Slender Man? Like, it's not realistic to see some, like, blank, like, faceless person abducting kids, but there's some realism in the story or whatever. But you finding a disc on Brawl disc on the road doesn't sound realistic. I know that this sounds like the most overused shit that any story can use, but at least say you got it from a store or something. At least that's kind of realistic than finding it off the road. Like, what the fuck? Alright, so it says, it's probably scratched up, but I checked anyways. I said to her and walked over to the disc on the road. Sure enough, it was a copy of Brawl, but the CD had a red and white color, whatever that says. Instead of the normal white and blue, it turned over to see it clear of damage. I turned it over to see it clear of damage. Whoa, perfect condition. I don't know if it's really perfect condition when you found it off the road, but okay. And a different, whatever that word says, coloration. I'm retarded. Alright. And a different coloration too. I said to her and showed her the disc. She was quite surprised too. We continue our walk back to my house. The disc still in my hand. We soon arrived at my house. I went in my room and turned on the Wii. We took out my Super Smash Bros. Brawl disc and put it in its case. I had to clean the copy we found before putting it in my Wii. Through the coloration of the game just seemed off. You think it seems off? Like, come on. Like, it was a little bit darker coloration, but it was probably the lighting in the room, so we just ignored it. The game had booted up and Paige and I had gotten ready to test the game. We both had our Wii remotes in hand, ready to play the game. The game was normal at this point until we went to the character selection screen. Strangely, most of the unlockable characters had not I had not had where there what? I had not had where there such as Wolf from Star Fox. Cool, I've been trying to unlock Wolf. I had happily through I decided to play him yet. I selected my main brawler Pit. Paige had selected hers that was Luigi. We began playing, but when we paused for a moment, I realized something was off about Pit and Luigi. Pit was frowning. I asked myself, he had a sad look on his face in the game. Luigi looked the same. We never saw anything else about the game when Paige was over. She had to leave to go home after. I decided to play the game again after my homework and all that stuff. God, I wish I hadn't done that. I decided to brawl on classic mode because I love that mode. I choose Pit as usual and began playing. First, I had to battle Luigi. Okay, first off, this isn't real because most of the time when I play Brawl's classic mode, all the fucking time I have to the first person you fight is like a Zelda character, Link, Sheik, or Zelda, whichever. Maybe Ganondorf, but I don't know. So, you know, that's unrealistic. Alright, so first I had to battle Luigi. I kind of like battling my friends' characters due to finding the characters' weaknesses for the first time. I battled them, the game began, I was at Luigi's mansion, the haunted house. However, I looked like it was some kind of mini murder scene. There was bloodstains on the walls of the mansion. Through when I paused the game to take a closer look at the characters, Luigi, his eyes were where they used to be, but were black with red tears stained on his face. Oh wow, very original there. You know, we have Sonic.exe, also known as Unoriginal Idea. But alright, I quickly took a snapshot. Okay, you didn't take a screenshot, you took a snapshot. Alright, I had to tell and show this to my friends, but I've encountered a actually freaking creepypasta. Alright, first off, creepypasta, creepy is spaced, and like, you don't space creepypasta. It's not creepy space pasta. And also, don't say that, don't like say anything related to creepypastas in your creepypasta. Like, it just doesn't sound good. It just don't do it. Okay, I unpaused and continued the battle. When I hit Luigi, he yelled in pain. It was sickening. I had been haunting a friend's character to me and my... What the fuck is this? It was sickening. I had been hurting a favorite character to me and my friends. Though when he attacked Pit, nothing happened. The next couple of hits he made noises. That meant he was in great pain. Well, thanks for telling me. I didn't realize that he was in great pain. I don't want to hurt him, but it was like I couldn't stop playing. When I hit him for the final time, he didn't get launched over the ledge. He simply fell to the ground like he had died. At the end of the battle, Pit's wings looked like they had a tiny of gray, a tinty of gray to them. I was questioning why, but soon ignored it, and it was still thinking about the fact that I actually murdered Luigi. There's so much text. Okay. Alright, where was I? The next battle began, and it was Marth and Ike, a team battle. Another favorite of mine. And my friends, it's like the game knew what characters were favorites and wanted to torture them. Okay, that makes sense now. That's why it started with Luigi instead of Link. Alright, let's see. Ike and Marth were worse than Luigi. They had the same black eyes with red tears like Luigi, but their swords were stained with blood. Their capes were bloody and torn too, and again, as they attacked, it did nothing to Pit. But when I attacked them, they screamed in pain, but just like Luigi at the end, they fell to the ground, all beaten. Pit's wings grew darker and darker after each and every battle. It made me sick. Wolf and Fox had their ears and tail torn, bloodstains, fur and clothes. Fox also had a bullet in his head. It was all only until I had beaten the Star Fox crew when I noticed Pit's smile was getting bigger. The Creepypasta style smile. Oh my god. Don't say anything related to Jeff the Killer. Oh my god, okay. His wings were also a dark gray and his clothes were stained with red. What had I been doing? The last battle was the worst. I almost got slick. No. I almost got sick again because it was too gruesome. It was too gruesome for a T-rated game. Master Hand was mangled, flesh peeling off the bone of his finger, blood dripping from the wands, and I don't know what that says. The white was stained with red. Whatever this says. What happened to him? Its HP was 666. And it went down at least 50 damage each time, and every attack he got more and more mangled. At the end of the battle, Master Hand screamed in pain and fell to the platform. Splattering on it, some of its fingers were bent ways it shouldn't. And have been, and I did it. What the fuck? I can't even say shit, okay. Have been, and it died right there as the battle ended. The camera view went to Pit, who had pitch black wings and a creepy smile on his face and his clothes stained with blood. The other Smash Brothers characters I had killed, he also had those creepy eyes. Like the others, I felt like a monster, a murderer. He then spoke in a voice that was much more darker than his voice, normal voice. It was creepy for him. And he said this, like what I'd done. Are you pleased? The game then flickered off. I took out the disc as fast as I can. The white on the disc had changed color, just like Pit's wings. The red coloring had now looked blood red, and the creepy Pit and whatever this monstrosity the game was on the disc. I know these were only one way to kill the demon game. I took the disc off. I took the disc, broke it in half, went to the stove and threw the game in. I burned it like it should have been before I played it. Though I swear I feel like he is still watching me. Don't worry, I'm your guardian angel. I'll always be watching through life and death. And that's the end of that creepypasta. I don't know what to say. That creepypasta was pretty long. What the fuck? Well, anyways, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so we got a Kirby one. Before we read it, before I read it, it has, says here, stop before you read. This is my first creepypasta, so if it's bad, then give me advice. I probably will, but I'll forget. So it's bad. Don't scream to me about how I'm illiterate. I might have to do that just because, well, I have to say something. I have to complain about this story, as long if it's shit. Or say that I'm a terrible piece of human trash writer. That I won't do, because I've always said, don't harass the people that make these stories. Like, don't do that. Alright, so let's actually read the story. So this story started not too long ago, about 7 hours. And well, this is the story of how I destroyed my Switch and got really freaked out. Part 1, the car. So I bought the game and it was going well, and I had landed in the Forgotten Land and spawned and had eaten a rock, normal Kirby stuff. I went to inhale the car and I thought I had seen a shadowy figure inside, but it was around nighttime, so I just thought I was just tired. So I went to inhale the car, and when I did, I thought I heard a banging noise. So I turned up the volume, and sure enough, it was from the game. Part 2, that thing. So I was creeped out. Why would the creators of Nintendo do this? One thing you should know is that I'm pretty sure Nintendo doesn't make Kirby games. I'm pretty sure HAL Laboratory are the ones that develop the Kirby games. Nintendo's don't publishes them. So yeah, isn't this an E10 plus game? However, it's possible just to add to the creepiness of the new place. Nevertheless, I was still confused, so I drove on and went past enemies. I boosted, crashed through the wall, and then the banging noises got louder, followed by same noises of someone talking. It sounded like they were crying for help. They said, "No, no, no." I heard them cry out, "Please God help me." At this point, I was very creeped out. I wanted to scream, but it was late, and waking up the neighbors. I'm so fucking dumb. Was something I didn't want right now. So after a while, I inhaled the car, and sure enough, there was a man in there. He had a bloody face and was missing an arm. Half his torso was shredded. The orange floating cats, they tried to kill me. I was, how can Nintendo do this? It's a Kirby game. Please, I'm begging you, destroy the cartridge. Part 3, escaping. I was freaked out, but I took the cartridge to my work. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say the cartridge, like, the Switches don't have cartridges, but yeah, they do. I'm a fucking dumbass. I don't know why, I just beat this game recently. God damn. So I tried and again until finally I gave up. I took a saw and tried to saw through it until a drill not happening. I had one option left. I took out my Glock 19 and I shot the cartridge. The cartridge glowed and expanded, and suddenly the man appeared in front of me. He collapsed and I took him to the hospital, rushing and displaying in any laws of traffic. The doctor had told me the results seemed like he got bit by an unknown animal, a new species of dogs, perhaps. "Will he be okay, Doc?" I asked him with a shake in my voice. I'm happy to say that although we may have to do some transplants with quite a few people, the doctor said somewhat sadly that there's nothing that would happen to the span of 3 hours. To this day, he lives with me and and that he's thankful for me bringing him, although I will never forget what happened. Well, but that was the last creepypasta. Let's move on to ranking the best creepypastas. Alright, so welcome to the part of the video where I rank the creepypastas from best to worst. So yeah, let's begin. So I think the best one is Super Smash Hell. Like, it was a complete masterpiece. Like, number one, it's the best one. Number 2, I would put the Kirby one, as it was decent, but at the same time it was a little, like, when I mean shit, I mean it's like boring. There was nothing really special. Number 3 being the worst one, the SpongeBob one. Like, it was like, It wasn't even so bad. It was funny. It was just shit. It was just garbage. But yeah, that's my ranking on the worst creepypastas of this video, and also happy Halloween. I'm recording this on October 29th, so it's not gonna come out until 2 days, but that's okay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.